Alright, before we begin, I just want to start by apologizing that I literally said I would do a Q&A for Christmas and my 10-year anniversary on YouTube, and then proceeded to not do it. Yeah, that's what I like to call getting sick on Christmas. But with that out of the way, hi, Happy New Year everyone. My name's Kofi. Welcome back to another video. Way to start off 2022, huh? I'm assuming you know about this, but if you don't, I'm gonna briefly explain it to you real quick. On June 2nd, 2021, Creepshow art got exposed for saying really not good things on lolcow, and you know, when I first saw that, I didn't really bat much of an eye, because it's petty stuff, I don't really care about that. But then another YouTuber by the name of Emily Artful came out with a 2-hour-long video exposing how Creepshow art and her husband have stalked Emily for so long. And that's the thing that's utterly disgusting. I think we can all agree. However, with Creepshow being quiet for 6 months roughly, she decided to go off with a bang when 2021 ended by making a 2-hour-long video as well, trying to prove Emily wrong. Thing is, she proved her right. Now, I'm not gonna analyze the entire video because there's way too much stuff in it that honestly doesn't really matter. However, I am gonna bring up some small things that honestly stuck out a lot to me. There's a few of them out of the 2 hours and 30 minutes worth of basically just slander, but I am gonna go over those parts that do stick out to me, and some of it actually has been addressed by Emily herself, so I'm gonna actually talk about that too. And without further ado, we're just gonna discuss it. First off, let's talk about the first thing that Shannon brings up, which is the whole Emily being 17 and dating a 13-year-old.
In her My Ex-Girlfriend Destroyed My Art video, Emily states that she has only had 2 bad relationships in her entire life, that being with a mutual friend named Sean, who she stated cheated on her, and the 13-year-old she dated when she was 17.
Now, if Emily were the 17-year-old in the situation, obviously that'd be very messed up. But here's the thing. According to Emily herself, she was actually the 13-year-old, but swapped the roles when she told that story. Exhibit A, Emily's most recent tweet thread. She writes, Point 2, the disgusting video I made about a 13-year-old was actually about me. I was the child in that situation. This happened more than once, where I would be tormented about an embarrassing, drunken/drugged up encounter, and I would tell the story to get it off my chest, but I'd reverse the roles. I learned in therapy I did this as a form of self-punishment. Regardless, it was still wildly inappropriate to talk about, a minor in that way. It doesn't matter if that was myself. When I was young, I had multiple very inappropriate encounters with older men, and I do believe it traumatized me. In addition to being given a cocktail of different psych meds in constant rotation, I think it deeply affected me, and stunted both my physical and emotional growth. But as for the rest of the video, I do caution you to be wary of some of the screenshots that were provided. Some of them were a little too on the nose and specific. So yeah, there you have it. Emily was actually the child in this situation. She still shouldn't have talked about a minor in that way, yeah, but she's acknowledged this. So, what's your point, Shannon? Now, this next point I have right here is something that I think a lot of people have noticed, and if you haven't, I'm actually very surprised that you haven't. And that being the fact that Shannon has screenshots of Emily's old DeviantArt pages from when she was in middle school, and by that I mean they were made in 2005. Honestly, there is absolutely no reason as to why Shannon should even have access to these, let alone have found these. She's trying so hard to prove that she didn't stalk Emily, yet has these screenshots of Emily's old DeviantArt accounts, which is the most sus thing that I've ever seen. Imagine trying to prove that you weren't stalking somebody, but you have pictures of their house. That's essentially what she did right there, except it's cyber stalking, so this is like different, but you know what I mean. Literally in no fucking universe should this have even been brought up. Like, okay, I get it. You're trying to establish a pattern of Emily's shitty behavior, which she acknowledged, by the way. Like, I get it. Assassination of character. But you really had to go out of your way to find her old DeviantArt pages? I mean, yeah, obviously the stuff that she did when she was, what, 13? Obviously that wasn't good, but she's like 30 now. She's definitely learned from that by now, Jesus. Also, since we're talking about it, let's also bring up the fact that she talks about how Emily said slurs in 2005 as if that wasn't a normal thing on the internet. And not to mention, she's being a massive hypocrite right now by not even acknowledging the lolcow things. Oh, spoiler alert. She never addressed the lolcow stuff, by the way. She knew full well that if she did, she would be decimated even further than she already fucking did that to herself. So she just doesn't talk about it, like, at all. So Shannon, you're allowed to say slurs within the past, like, 1, 2, 3 years or whatever, but Emily can't say slurs in 2005? Okay, alright, I see what you're saying. And one more thing here. Emily quite literally states in the beginning of her video that she was not a good person back then. She fully acknowledges that she did stupid shit when she was younger.
There were a few instances of relapse back then. So I just kind of go with 6 years sober, somewhere in there. I also struggled with an eating disorder and some pretty serious mental health issues. I feel like I have a pretty good hold on those things right now, especially my addiction. It feels so far away from me. I feel like I've come very far, and I've done a lot of work on myself. That is the number one thing I advocate on my channel is reflect. And you know, learn to acknowledge and own up to your mistakes. There have been several times on this channel that my own viewers have had to call me out and say, hey, this is shitty. And I've had to really take a good hard look at myself and kind of move forward and do better and work things out in therapy. And, you know, I think that's really important. And that's kind of what my whole YouTube channel is built around. You know, do art, do what you love, fuck the rest, but also, you know, have the ability to change and grow and be introspective.
Now, let me be clear and honest right here, right now. I went through a hashtag pick me, hashtag anti-feminist phase. I 100% did.
So again, what's your point, Shannon? People do stupid things and people make mistakes, and that's okay. As long as you acknowledge it and then move on and grow from these said mistakes, then that really truly tells if you're a good person or not. And clearly, Shannon, you clearly aren't. Moving on from that though, I want to take a moment to look at her description and her pinned comment because they're a doozy, alright. So the description says, I want to thank my legal team, family, and no one else, because you people couldn't even scroll down on an Instagram page to fact check her. You really said, no evidence? That's fine. It's not like she's accusing these people of felonies that could ruin their lives. Her own YouTube channel debunks all of her claims. She said that she was so scared to post about her location online during a time when she was actively vlogging around her city, saying where she was living and more, but per usual, I will do all the heavy lifting, because you guys are all lazy. For ease of understanding / the ability to read along with the video and see more evidence, here's the Google Doc of the script. The Google Doc also contains links to various social medias cited in this video. The social medias that were run by Emily that have evidence of her lies on it, that she supposedly withheld in order to slander my husband and I. The only social media I chose not to link is her 3 Facebooks, because in her original video, she said she wouldn't be comfortable with them being public. I will not be responding to comments. I will not be interacting with this video on this channel after this, lest it be talking about how certain people like Ashley, Lily, and Repsion went above and beyond to lie, dox, and slander me. P.S. Repsion saying in his video that he wasn't really friends with me is silly, seeing as he cried on a Discord call with me because he never had any... What? Because he had never had any real YouTube friends and had never been as close to someone online. Okay, that's what it's... But sure, try to save your own skin. That's just a description. That shit is so condescending that it's fucking... Ugh. Ugh, God. And we're not even done here, folks. There's 2 parts to Shannon's fucking comment. Any comment asking, why didn't you address blank, or what Butt Muncher 75 said about you in their video with 45 views. If they didn't accuse me of literal felonies, then... wrong then I really don't care at the moment. There's a difference between people thinking I am a dick and someone saying I committed literal crimes that are so foul that if I was seen on the street by someone and recognized, I would be assaulted. There's a reason Emily got a legal notice and other people didn't, because one thing is more serious than the other. If you can't understand that, then one day I hope there never comes a time when you can relate to this, because it's terrible. Touch grass. But who knows? Maybe with zero evidence, the changing of the story, her saying she was being stalked for 5 years before Anthony or I knew her, and the fact that she said happened was impossible. Maybe I did do it. Maybe I'm a wizard. Ooh. Or maybe, Shannon, maybe in your video you showed screenshots of her middle school DeviantArt pages, have several receipts for absolutely no reason other to assassinate someone's character. Maybe you did do it. Maybe you actually did do it, Shannon. Ever thought about that one? Okay, I hate to beat up a dead horse, but you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me so much of the fucking Madam situation, you know, when she, like, fucking took out her artist's, like, credit when they called her out, and she just fucking put no one because they decided to be unprofessional. That's literally what Shannon is doing right here, and you can't fucking convince me otherwise. Legit, though! Like, there's literally no reason as to why Shannon should be like this to, like, everyone else when she's clearly in the wrong and just putting herself in the wrong even further. I don't know, it's just really funny to me. Also, the last thing I want to address here is the very end of the video. I know so many people have talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it too and just give my immediate thoughts because it also ties into like how condescending Shannon was and like the comments and in her description and shit. It's just god awful. It's just roll the clip.
It's over. I am done. I am not coming back to YouTube. I have learned that the only people I can count on in my life are the people who actually know me. And if a random person comes online and states I stalked them with quite sincerely no evidence and literally posts on their active accounts that disprove that.
That's cool and all, but you literally proved her right by this video.
People I genuinely admired and loved would just go with it and decide, yeah, that makes sense.
Literally everyone who was your friend came out with them saying that you told them not to defend you, so that's your fucking fault. That's all on you that they didn't come out and defend you because you literally told them not to do that.
Two people who I barely know anymore, who I barely, like, who literally have years of statements online, public, saying they hate me and they don't really know, they came and coincided this bullshit. Meanwhile, literally, no one in my life, no active friend of mine, not one friend who I'm actually close to, came forward and said, here's evidence of Shannon doing it. No one presented any evidence that holds up even a little bit to speculation. None.
There is one person. You.
Which is why every lawyer, every police officer, every PI that Emily took this to immediately said she didn't have a case. Meanwhile, every lawyer I went to said I did and was eager to pursue this. And to all the people who were like, Shannon went away because she's scared of being sued. Emily couldn't have sued me. She couldn't have. I didn't do anything. Even if she tried. I said I would address Tipster, so this is for him. Tipster said that if I was able to prove that I didn't do what I was being accused of, that he would apologize to me. And to that, I say, fuck you.
What are you saying fuck you to him for? He literally said, if you're able to prove this, then I'll apologize for all the shit that I've accused you of. What is there to say fuck you to? He's being lenient. Like, I get it. He found an old account of your husband's and said, hey, why did you delete the stuff on it? But you say that's attacking him. That's not attacking anyone. You're just being fucking soft. Honest to God, suck it up.
You disgusting person. You maliciously attacked my husband because you yourself couldn't scroll down far enough on Emily's Instagram and find the multiple posts that debunk her story that are still live. You're a journalist, but you just couldn't do that. There is a reason your content gets fewer and fewer views than everyone else in the YouTube commentary community, and you keep being beat out by everyone else. And that's because it's terrible, lazy, and reductive.
And yours isn't, Shannon? You literally have the same fucking format, the same 3 things you fucking say, and the most god-awful, annoying fucking voice that sounds like nails on a fucking chalkboard. Actually shut the fuck up. You're being a massive fucking hypocrite. The only reason I'd watch your videos because you had valid points. And even then, that was a fucking lie. So don't even fucking test it.
You should rename your channel Secondhand News, because you can't be fucked to actually research anything before you open your ugly mouth. You watch someone else's video and you say what they said worse than they said it. You aren't a reporter, you're not a journalist, you're a joke. Just know that you are a terrible person, and you can take that forgiveness and just fuck it. Just fuck that forgiveness right off.
He never asked for forgiveness in the first place. What the fuck are you going on about? Jesus fucking Christ. She says it as if she expects to fucking give out forgiveness and expects to be apologized to. You're not gonna get that. You literally are a stalker. You just proved it with your 2.5-hour long video.
You are just as bad as Emily, if not worse, for supporting a mob with no evidence while claiming to do all this research and claiming to care about your friends or anything. I talked to you so many times, and you once cried on stream saying if Shannon was in trouble, she would tell me not to defend her.
How? How is he worse than Emily Artful, the person that accused you? Tipster's just a commentator. Tipster just shows off the fucking evidence. Tipster doesn't lie.
Because she's a good person, and when I told you not to do that, you were like, well, that's sign she's guilty. Even though there's evidence to say I'm not, and no evidence to say I am.
Shannon. Have you fucking watched your video?
To the people who reached out, who said, I don't care if you did it, still love your content, don't leave YouTube, I love you, you're weird, don't say that to me ever fucking again, do not reach out to me ever again, that is not comforting. I spent all my time trying to help victims of what I was actually accused of, and to be told that my audience doesn't care about that is insane.
And here you are, twisting the words of your own supportive fucking fans. That is so fucking disgusting. By I don't care that you did it, they meant that they don't care about the allegations themselves, and they wanted to support you regardless. That's unconditional love and support. And you're telling them to go fuck themselves because they cared about you? That is fucking disgusting. If you ever do that shit around me, I'm gonna have reason to believe that you're a fake-ass fucking person, and I'm glad that it turned out Shannon fucking was, because shit like that is inexcusable. I don't care who the fuck you are, I don't care what the fuck you've done. If you ever fucking pull that shit, you're fucking done. You're done.
To the people who told me to kill myself, better luck next time. Thanks for playing. And to everyone else, go touch some fucking grass. I am done. I'm fucking done.
Thank God that's fucking over. Honestly, my blood is still boiling because of that last part. Long story short, no one's gonna care that you left. Honestly, good riddance. You've shown how much of a dog shit thing that you are. You're not even a fucking person. You solely made Emily's life a living hell. You never cared about what you actually talked about, and you never gave a rat's ass about your community. You never fucking did. I feel so fucking horrible for everyone who actually looked up to you, who was a friend of yours, and I just feel so bad for them. My heart goes out to them. I feel so bad for Emily, Repsion, Tipster, Repzilla, you know, everyone that was a friend of yours and anyone that knew you. Because honestly, you never deserved their time or their trust. Like, you don't deserve any of the platform that you were given in the first place, and I'm honest to God so glad that it's taken away from you now. Because you never fucking deserved it in the first place because of how horrible that you are. I'm glad you're gone. I hope to God that everyone else is glad that you're gone too. And honestly, not really much of a loss. This has been Kofi. I hope you all are having a nice day. And that's it. See you guys soon.